There's a number of ways to improve the value of your home and to make life a lot easier. Getting a bathroom remodel is one of the best. We've got an expert here to talk about it. Stay tuned. Welcome everyone to Your Little Castle Show. I am so fortunate with what I get to do here because I get to talk to experts all day long about what it is you do to be successful, and if you need some particular work like bathrooms. How many people have had a house that they've lived in for a number of years and they look up and they're like, wow, this bathroom really doesn't look so good anymore. Got the green, who's got the green tiles on the bathroom, right? You've seen that? And that was nice in the 60s or maybe the 70s, but time to upgrade. Tell me with that, we covered a lot in the first show. If you missed the first show, check that out. A lot of great information there. All of our shows are out on our YouTube channel, on linked through our website if you go to yourlittlecastle.com. Tell me then, Casey, what is the biggest mistake that people make when deciding to do a bathroom remodel?
I think the biggest mistake that people make when deciding to do a bathroom remodel is going with the lowest price that they find. Just because the price is lower or higher for that matter doesn't mean that you're going to get the same results every time. Usually the guy that is out there charging a lower price, he's hungry. And he may not have the experience, he may not have the insurance to back him up or even a license. So that's definitely a huge
Look for
huge
the
mistake.
Couple big red flags there.
Go for the guy in the middle.
Look for an expert who's been around for a long time and a lot of years of experience. Bath Infinity of St. Louis, Casey I'm going to say this right, Brizendine is the right way to say it. And you're a construction specialist, the owner and the founder, and you've been doing this for over 30 years and since 2009 with your own company now. So if you missed, like I said, you missed that first show, we covered a lot of that and a lot more we'll get into. But people make big mistakes like this. And when you make a mistake in the bathroom, we're not talking about a human, we understand. That's the haha. But we're talking about when you have, you physically cut corners and you've got somebody who did something that didn't work out as well. Now you're going to have to redo the whole thing. That can get very expensive. What's the average shower bathroom remodel rate go for? Give me a ballpark
the average
range.
For your cheapest plain panel job, you're looking at around $6,000. And for if you want to go with a nice design with a more luxury line, then you're looking at probably $7,000-8,000. Then if you start adding grab bars, built-in seats, niches, the price can go up a little bit more. And as far as a tile shower is concerned, I think the cheapest I've done one for was for $12,000.
Okay.
And so they can get pretty expensive. The tile showers.
But they're going to add the value to the house, right?
Very much so.
Right. Your house might go up more.
And there's a lot more detail involved. There's a lot more cuts that you have to make. Whereas with a panel, you got one cut on the side to make it fit.
There you go, and that's why you have these experts that can talk to you about this. But yeah, that's not an outrageous amount of money to spend, $6,000-7,000. If it's something you're getting in your finish off your basement, and it's not a primary use just for guests who spend the night or whatever, friends or whatever come in town.
Or if you're on a fixed income, and you're elderly and you can't get into that bathtub anymore, and you need a safer option, that may be your more affordable route is to go with that $6,000-7,000, shower insert with some grab bars and, just to make it safer and more convenient.
Do you have the resources? I know you do, but you have a list of people you prefer, the vendors you go to, or sometimes you go to Home Depot, or it depends on what you're doing, I guess.
I go to Home Depot and Lowe's for most of my materials. I favor Home Depot because when I go inside of Home Depot, there's usually someone right there to greet you, someone in each aisle to tell you where to find something if you can't find it. Whereas I haven't really found that at Lowe's, but there's a lot more higher end products at Lowe's. So it really just depends on what the client wants. If the client wants to go to a particular vendor, then I'm willing to work with them. I've had a lot of success with Wayfair. Wayfair has a lot of great ideas on there as far as vanities, extra cabinets in your bathroom. They even have these beautiful luxury clawfoot tubs that are jetted,
Oh wow.
that are Bluetooth capable. It's pretty amazing what they've come out with on Wayfair.
Now we're talking about technology. That's a question we'll come up to in a little bit. But now you can Bluetooth control the hot water, the cold water, off and on, those kinds of things, and it's all built into the plumbing, or I guess whatever it is that you've installed.
Well, it's got a separate electrical line that goes up top to control those things.
Okay.
But there's I believe it's called a thermostatic dial, where you can dial in your temperature that you always want that water at.
Okay.
So you just go in there, you push the button. The last one I did has 3 buttons. One operates the rain shower head above, the other one operates the regular shower head, and then the other one operates the handheld. And you can push all 3 buttons and operate all 3 at the same time, but that water always stays at the same temperature.
Nice. Okay. So there's and you're talking about multiple heads. People have more than one head these times.
Sometimes 8.
Sometimes 8.
Yeah, sometimes they have a couple here in the center that just shoot right at your body.
There's nowhere to hide. You're gonna get
You're gonna get wet.
You're gonna get cleaned up whether you like it or not.
Right.
Some of those advanced. Do you do a lot of? Is it mostly residential? Some commercial?
Mostly residential.
And what would you say is your breakdown on? And the commercial jobs, are they kind of just one-offs because you get somebody that referred you, or are you sticking strictly with residential?
I'm sticking strictly with residential. I like to work with people personally, not with, with the bigger company.
Big companies, yeah. There's a different process that goes into that. But what do you enjoy most about the residential side? Why do you prefer that? You said working with people, but
It's a more personable experience.
yeah, you're really helping somebody improve their home now. This is where
And their lifestyle.
their lifestyle. Okay.
Especially when you get to that point to where, say, if you broke your hip or you've been in a car accident, you can't exactly step over that threshold anymore. It just makes it a lot more easy. It makes people's lives better when they have a shower that they can just walk right into. I've even built them to where there's a 0 clearance, where they can just pull their wheelchair right into the shower area.
Right into it. Yeah, talking about really helping people from a functional standpoint to operate and to function on our little planet here. There's a lot that goes on. You've got to have, where you have running water on somebody, and so that all the faculties there are working, but make them easily accessible for those. What do you have an average age that you would say that typically, you're working with anybody from new homeowners to people who've got houses that have been older and
It's mainly, my clients usually are in their 50s to all the way into their 90s.
okay.
Sometimes I've had a couple experiences now where they didn't get a really good job done by the previous person, and it's a lot cheaper of a material, so they've got, like, there's a seat that sits in the corner there, and they've sat on that seat so many times that it finally cracked, and
Okay.
it's creating a problem underneath. So there's a lot of older designs out there that they just don't stand up to time.
Yeah, it's just some bathrooms, if they were designed with lesser quality things, they'll be lasting that 10 or 15 years, and you're going to have to go in there and do some work.
Right.
Last problem anybody wants is to have running water with a pipe that broke or some kind of opening that allows water to run. And that
Or a hidden issue where water's been flowing behind an area for so long that it creates black mold.
Wow.
And then damage below, and then the next guy has to remove all of it.
Wow.
Studs, the floor. I mean,
Okay.
And a lot of times there's basements that are finished already too, so then you have to replace that drywall below that's
Right.
been damaged as well.
Yes, I didn't think about that. Yeah, but it's a matter of if you just as a matter of a corner that got and some caulk that split or whatever. And is it something? The house is still shift, I guess. I had a countertop that pulled off a little bit from my house, but that can affect the bathroom too. And then water gets behind there. That's a big problem.
Big problem, especially when that happens for a long time. Because a lot of times you don't even see that it's happening. One day you may just look up at the ceiling and there's a little yellow spot Well, that's your shower leaking in a corner that you can't exactly just see. Because a lot of times the silicone, especially an older silicone, they start to separate from the product itself and it gets behind there. So if you're not regularly checking your silicone caulk line, I would suggest that you would change out that caulk every 5 years. And I'm not saying to go over top of it to fill in gaps, but to actually remove that caulk and re-silicone it. Because the silicone they have now, they guarantee it lasts up to 50 years to where it's not going to shrink on you.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's shrinkage, something you don't want in the shower in the caulk line.
Right.
Something I hadn't even thought about. That's why you bring in experts, everybody. What do you like most about the St. Louis market, the St. Louis area? You're based out of Wentzville, St. Charles area, but you service all of the area. What do you like most about the areas that you get to help here?
I love going into the older neighborhoods in St. Louis. I love the old architecture, Victorian style houses, the old brick and mortars. And some of the places that I get to go to, like over in Illinois, I'm always looking for the Masonic Lodge or the Oddfellows Lodge, because they're always the oldest building in the town besides the courthouse. And I really like the history that we have here. It's a great history.
Yeah, I guess, what are some of the oldest buildings you've worked with? Some of the buildings in St. Louis are 150, 200 years old. And some of you had an outhouse back. Some of these you go far enough
Right.
back, but you're helping build. Is there times when you have to gut an entire older style and pull everything out and
Yep,
start
where
from
we had to
scratch?
remove all the plaster and all the chicken wire mortar, whatever you want to call it. And those walls can be pretty thick, but you can't really repair once they start to crack. You can't just fix it like you could with joint compound on drywall. It doesn't just sand down easy. It's like got a sand base to it.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times, if the house is older and it has that older design, then you have to tear all that down and redo it all.
And that's why you hire the experts we're talking about here, everybody. Tell me a time you've been doing this for a long time. Give me an example of a client that was in a tough situation. Maybe they got left out by another contractor and you had to come in and help them, or another time you helped somebody that made a difference, something you remember.
Or they got an estimate from me first and decided I was too expensive and went with the cheaper guy and called me months later. I've had that happen
Okay.
lots of times. And, it's unfortunate when that happens to people, but I've had so many different bad experiences with, previous contractors that did a horrible job where not only do I have to fix what they did, but now they've created other issues down the line that have to be repaired as well. So it just winds up costing the client a lot more money in the end, instead of just choosing the guy, the right guy for the job.
Do it right the first time and don't cut corners.
Right.
So look, yeah, well, literally. So then they had a water problem or something, and it was going on, and it caused all kinds of. You get mold and water damage, you've got a much bigger problem. That
Much
may or
bigger.
may not be covered by insurance because you didn't have the right permitting or whatever, and
Right.
work that was sanctioned, but the insurance company would back up. That's bad news.
But I back up every job. I carry $2 million in general liability insurance that protects me and the homeowner.
Nice, $2 million. You could do a heck of a shower for $2 million.
And that's on, each claim.
Okay.
So they say. I've never had to
Never had to use
never
it,
had to use it yet.
but you're smart enough to have that in place.
Right.
That's smart. What's one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome as a business owner, or time that things were a little bit tough, but you obviously made it through, but it made you stronger?
There's a lot of slower times of the season. It's usually around the holidays. There's usually a huge influx of calls before Thanksgiving, and you
Right.
can't get to all of them. But they've all got family coming over, and they want to spruce up a room and update some things. And but then once December comes around, it's all dried up. You don't really have a lot of work going on, and so you've got to learn how to save and manage your money for those times where there isn't anything.
Somebody's been doing this for a long time. You figured out a way how to do that, and then you gear up for this time of year. You're starting to get into your busy season. When do things really start to kick in for you?
Things really started to pick up again right around New Year's.
Okay, so you're in that busy part, starting to kick in here a little bit. When's
I've
your
gone
peak?
on I've gone on 3 different estimates already this week.
Okay, when do things really kick in for you?
Usually August, September, people are really wanting to get jobs done during that time, and it's better to get booked in advance. Because if not, there's only so much I can do.
Very well said there. Yeah, there's only so much you can do, especially given the time restraints. If you want to have a job that looks great. Well, with that, let's share with you guys a little bit more of the community stuff we've got going on. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah. He loves baseball. Hey, all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. Now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. It's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, Big Leagues. BigLeagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to BigLeagues.com. So with that, we talked about it. Media really influences our world, and we got kind of a marketing expert here. We'll talk about it here in a second. But Magnetize Your Media, #1 seller on Amazon, and yours truly wrote the introduction here, the foreword. They said, Carter, essentially you wrote the first chapter, which was kind of fun, but got a lot of work done there. But with that, Casey, you've done some work. This Chat GPT thing, if you really get the handle on that, I've used it a bunch. It sounds like you've used it a lot, and it helps you to just formulate great-looking quality stuff to present yourself in the right way. Technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've utilized ChatGPT a lot over the last 4 months.
Okay.
And it's been a game changer. You know, you don't have to hire anybody now to be a marketing expert. AI does all of it.
Yeah.
It does a very thorough job, creates an algorithm, creates different visual aids for advertising, and it's a game changer.
Well, the technology is really where it's at these days with regard to that getting the word out, marketing. All those are important things, and that's where we advocate. We've done a lot of automations are going on here in our studio. Our whole crew is really good at that. Guess who our whole crew is? It's down to one person, everybody. But that's what you can do with technology these days. So tell me the process. What is it? What is the process somebody go through if they want to hire you? Go to the website, get your number, text you, call you. Walk me through that process.
Yeah, basically, if you see one of my ads on Facebook or you see my website, feel free just to reach out, give us a phone call, or you can send us an email at bathinfinity@yahoo.com.
So then once somebody has coordinated with you, you're going to give them a bid. You're going to come out and meet with them personally, right?
Yes.
And then go through what happens after that?
Schedule an appointment, and then I come out to your house, get measurements, get your ideas, your vision. We go through a color scheme and go from there.
I've got up on the wall here your website, so lots of great information for people to see for you there. But you can...
Yep, real simple, bathinfinity.com.
Bath Infinity, I was giving you kudos. That's a heck of a great name there. And so you've got the information here, but they can literally just go to the contact page, fill it out, and you're going to give them a call back within a short period of time and then coordinate a time to come out and see them and then take it from there. How long does the normal bid process take? You're at the location for how long? And then
usually it's a location for about an hour. And then usually, if I come out on a Monday, then you usually have your estimate by Friday.
Okay. It's a couple of days for you to kind of sort things out, and it depends on the size of the job and all that.
Right.
But you've got some people they're giving you 5 bathrooms. They've seen your work. They know what you're about. They said, I want you to do them all. And 5 bathrooms, pretty good sized house. It's got 5 bathrooms. I guess.
Oh, yeah. It's probably about 4,800 square feet.
Why do you think you earn jobs like that? You've got a history now. People are seeing the quality of work you're doing. They're saying, come out, I got 5 of them for you.
Right. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends and family that live out in the area, and they've done a great job at referring me to their friends at church, and I've been involved with churches for a long time, and so I've gotten to know a lot of people out here in the community.
Well, that's a great way to do business, and if you're doing good work. We're going to show on the wall here some of your work. You've got a good chunk of this on the website, and then also a lot of recent stuff too, so I'll put this up for everybody. But take a look here. This is in the gallery, so bathinfinity.com/gallery. But you've got work all the way from, there's some garage work with some studs. And look at that. That's a finished bathroom. That looks dynamite, man. And there you go. And
it's custom seats.
This is great. Look at the marble. You asked me how we have this marble up here. That's similar to what another client you have. But this is a before. Let me stop from this one. That's the before.
Yeah, that's the before.
And is that the after?
No, the one past that is the
there
after.
It is. There's the after. Tell me about this job a little bit. What went into this one?
That one was in fluorescent, and the tile, I think, is probably pre-1960.
Yeah.
A lot of it was falling apart. If you see the area where the valve is, they had replaced that tile several times and it never matched after they had to change out the valve. So they probably had to live with that, the people that lived there for about 5 years before they were able to upgrade it.
And then this is the after. Mm-hmm. That is a world of difference there. That's a heck of a turnaround for somebody, but very cool. I'm just going to keep sliding through here as we get. I'll put up on our. See what it's on the wall behind me too, but I can put this up on the screen. It's stopped me on any one of these in particular that you'd like to talk to. But some of these look like they're photos from a magazine. There's some of the work. There's that green wallboard.
Yeah.
And what do they call
Green
it?
board.
Green board, yeah. And
It's mildew resistant.
and what you'll use on what percentage of your jobs get that? Almost all, except for the tile.
All of them get that unless they're a tile job. If it's a tile job, then I use a Schluter-Curdy membrane.
Okay. And yeah, look at those finished floors. And wow. How often do people? There's the before. Is that the after?
No, I don't know why it's not coming in sequence of actual before and after.
But these are a lot of after pictures there. That look great.
Yeah, there's another. That's a tub that we installed in Maryland Heights.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna glance over here to show you a little bit more, but take a look at Casey's Facebook page. Oops, I'm gonna bring it up. But your Facebook has got you quite a bit of attention too. Why do you think has Facebook become a great resource for people to check?
I've been utilizing Facebook for many years now. You know, there's lots of like Wentzville 411, different buy-sell pages where they allow you to advertise your business. And that has been a huge, effective way to reach people in the community, to let them know that, hey, I'm out here, that a second opinion, exists. You don't have to go with the first bid that you get.
Wow, well, I'm putting everything up here on the wall for everybody, but obviously some expertise you bring to the table, and a lot of what you get to share with people to improve their houses dramatically. What's the biggest objection people have? Is it always price, or what's the first thing that comes out of somebody's mouth when they say, well, I'm interested, but what are the questions they usually have for you?
A lot of times people will go get a second opinion after me, and they decide that they're desperate enough for work that they're going to underbid me. And usually it's around December, January when that happens, when I usually don't, where people do get a second opinion. But I'm a lot more affordable than most of the larger companies out there.
Yeah, your overhead is lower because you've got much more you control and manage all by all yourself, so that there's not a lot of the overhead that those big guys have. And I've seen a lot of work they do, and they do some good work. But it is, when you told me 6,000, I'm like, wow, that could get you into a nice. And that's your panel.
That other company is going to charge you 12 or 13,
even for a panel.
And without a shower door, I can get you one for $6 with the shower door.
Nice. And those shower doors are what really make it stand out. Well, as we talked about here, an expert in the community right here, based out of St. Louis, been doing this for 30 plus years, an expert, Casey, Bath Infinity of St. Louis. Get a hold of him if you need help with your bathroom or shower. Stay tuned, everybody. You're watching the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.